Well, because that's her brand. It always has been. Like, I'm successful and powerful. How can you be like me? Buy
In celebrity circles, the Trump name has always been a lightning rod for controversy, and Ivanka Trump has found herself right in the middle of it. Once photographed alongside Chelsea Clinton and other liberal icons, some expected her to be a moderating voice in her father's White House. But when her political stance mirrored his more closely than anticipated, Hollywood's opinion shifted almost overnight. Now, the former first daughter faces public criticism from some of the biggest names in entertainment. From actors and comedians to musicians and talk show hosts, the list of celebrities openly disliking her is longer and more surprising than many realize. Today, we're breaking down who they are, what they've said, and why these high-profile feuds run so deep. Number 1. Chelsea Handler. When Donald Trump won the presidency without any prior political experience, he relied heavily on people he trusted most, and that included his eldest daughter, Ivanka. She wasn't just a family member in the White House, she became one of his closest advisors, particularly on women's issues. As a working mother and head of the White House Women Who Work initiative, Ivanka even championed a maternity leave proposal during the campaign. Some wondered, could Ivanka be a genuine voice for women, or would she merely echo her father's positions without question? Chelsea Handler, comedian and talk show host, didn't hesitate to answer. Just days before Trump took office, she told Variety, "The idea that Ivanka is going to help women or do anything for women is absurd because she's a puppet. They're all his puppets. They're scared of him." Handler's comments set the tone for what would become a recurring theme among celebrities who viewed Ivanka as complicit in her father's politics rather than a moderating influence. Number 2. Scarlett Johansson. Not every celebrity went for direct political criticism. Some chose satire, and few did it more memorably than Scarlett Johansson. In March 2017, just 2 months into Trump's presidency, Johansson hosted Saturday Night Live and delivered a blistering parody targeting Ivanka. In a pre-tape sketch, Johansson slipped into Ivanka's signature heels and designer dresses to star in a mock perfume commercial for a fictional fragrance called Complicit. The ad was a masterclass in biting comedy. Slow, sultry shots showed Johansson gliding through a glamorous party, sipping champagne, while the narrator, played by Cecily Strong, delivered the cutting commentary. She's a woman who knows what she wants and what she's doing. She doesn't crave the spotlight, but we see her. Oh, how we see her. She's a feminist, an advocate, a champion for women. But how? The stinging tagline landed the final blow. Complicit, the fragrance for the woman who could stop all this but won't. Ivanka responded in a CBS interview, defending herself. If being complicit is wanting to be a force for good and to make a positive impact, then I'm complicit. Johansson, however, wasn't impressed. At the Women in the World conference shortly after, she called Ivanka's response really cowardly, cementing the sketch as one of the most memorable celebrity critiques she would face. Number 3. Chrissy Teigen. If anyone turned criticizing Ivanka into an art form, it's Chrissy Teigen. Model, cookbook author, and Twitter powerhouse with over 12 million followers, Teigen quickly made her unfiltered commentary a staple of online culture. Her jabs began as sharp one-liners and escalated into sustained public takedowns. In September 2017, Ivanka shared a wholesome Instagram photo captioned, "Cuddling my little nephew Luke. The best part of an otherwise incredible day." Teigen couldn't resist pointing out the linguistic misstep, tweeting, "Otherwise implies you did not like hanging with this baby." It was a small cut, but it set the tone for their ongoing feud. By March 2020, during the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic, Ivanka shared a photo of her children and herself enjoying a living room campout complete with blanket forts and neatly packed sandwiches. Teigen's reply was blistering. "After we, quote, pack sandwiches, can we please have COVID tests?" Her criticism wasn't confined to social media. In 2019, speaking at a House Democratic Caucus Issues Conference, Teigen targeted what she saw as Ivanka's lack of empathy, particularly regarding the family separation crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. Chrissy Teigen's critiques didn't stop at social media jokes. They were often pointed, moral, and unflinchingly public. She highlighted a stark contrast between Ivanka's carefully curated family moments and the harsh reality faced by children in detention. Teigen remarked, "It's a painful thing to see such a complete lack of empathy when it comes from people like Ivanka. I will say that she can post all-day pictures of her children at home. Oh, my daughter's having trouble in her crib, or my daughter's doing this. But there are children out there who don't have that opportunity." Her words struck a nerve with many, amplifying the conversation around Ivanka's perceived detachment from real-world suffering. Number 4. Michelle Wolf. Every spring, Washington, D.C.'s political and media elite gather for the White House Correspondents Association dinner, a black-tie night where journalists, politicians, and celebrities mingle while the sitting president gets roasted by a comedian. In 2018, stand-up comic and Late Night with Seth Meyers writer Michelle Wolf took the stage, and her jokes landed like precision strikes. While some humor targeted Donald Trump, Wolf's sharpest barbs were aimed at Ivanka. She dismantled the first daughter's polished image as a women's advocate with merciless satire. She was supposed to be an advocate for women, but it turns out she's about as helpful to women as an empty box of tampons. The room gasped. Wolf pressed on, likening Ivanka to the administration's diaper genie, sleek on the outside, but full of unpleasant surprises on the inside. Critics immediately accused Wolf of going too far, yet she doubled down months later on her Netflix show The Break, giving viewers a masterclass in public trolling. If you see Ivanka on the street, first call her Tiffany. This will devastate her. Wolf's humor didn't stop there. She compared Ivanka to faulty medical devices, discontinued birth control, and herpes products that promise relief or safety, but instead bring pain and complications, underscoring the perceived gap between image and impact. Number 5. Amy Schumer. In August 2018, Ivanka finally addressed one of the most controversial policies of her father's administration, the separation of migrant children from their parents at the U.S. border. Speaking to CNN, she framed the policy as a personal low point but quickly softened her stance, describing immigration as a complex issue. Critics were unimpressed. Why, they asked, wouldn't Ivanka use her influence as a senior advisor to end the policy rather than speak in cautious diplomatic language? This question sparked a coordinated digital protest led by filmmaker Paula Mendoza, journalist Alyssa Cleaney, and actress Sarah Sophie Flicker. Their plan was simple but ingenious. Comb through Ivanka's Instagram to see every public figure she followed and urge those individuals to repost a blunt, open letter confronting her directly. The letter was unflinching. "Dear Ivanka, you follow me on social media. You said family separation was a low point for you. The low point is for the separated families. You spoke in past tense. This crisis is ongoing." It concluded with a demand: end these abuses now. Ivanka's feed became a wall of dissent, populated by the very celebrities she followed. Amy Schumer, designer Alexa Chung, model Papi Delavigna, actress Sophia Amoruso, and entrepreneur Audrey Gelman were among those whose voices turned her social media into a relentless confrontation with criticism. Number 6. Samantha Bee. By 2018, Ivanka had been serving as one of her father's closest advisors for over a year, frequently showcased as the administration's voice on women's issues. To many, however, her role appeared more symbolic than substantive. This frustration found a formidable voice in Samantha Bee, former Daily Show correspondent and host of Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. Bee didn't hold back, especially during the nationwide outrage over the Trump administration's family separation policy. When Ivanka posted a smiling photo on Twitter, cradling her son in a moment of maternal warmth, Bee called it tone-deaf and responded with a blistering rebuke. "You know, Ivanka, that's a beautiful photo of you and your child, but let me just say, one mother to another, do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless wretch." The remark ignited a firestorm. Critics from all sides weighed in. President Trump slammed Bee as a no-talent who should be fired, while conservative commentators called for her removal from the air. Samantha Bee later addressed the backlash on her show, walking back the insult but not the core sentiment. I crossed the line. I regret it, and I do apologize for that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the long list of celebrities who've clashed with Ivanka Trump, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next look into the fascinating, messy, and very public world of celebrity feuds.